Yes, Africa stretch forth her hands and give thanks for the deliverance of a man who stands firm in his own countenance. I descended upon the mountain of Zion. I saw is the lion. The world shall know. So great is him, I know how great is the King of all kings, yes. So great is him, I know great is the King of all kings, yes.
Greetings and welcome to Jesse I Interviews. As always, I'm broadcasting this on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people of the Kulin Nation from the city of Melbourne in Australia, or Naarm if you prefer. For this episode, I'm going back to 2015 for an interview recorded on the first PBS Reggae Lovers tour of Jamaica. This was the first of 2 trips to Jamaica that I made with a group of my radio listeners. Both were amazing and fun trips. It's something I plan to do again in the future, but the logistics of work and family are proving a little challenging at the moment. But this is an interview with Iba Mahr that I organised pretty much as soon as we got to Kingston on this trip. I think I pretty much checked into the hotel, put down my bags, and then I was out the door to meet Iba Mahr, taking whoever from the group wanted to come. This one got off to an interesting start as we met Iba Mahr as arranged, but his number one priority was watching Jamaica play football, or soccer, whatever you want to call it. Jamaica was playing the USA in the semi-finals of the Gold Cup, and although I'd never heard of the Gold Cup personally, it was a big deal over there. We went with him to watch it at a bar. I feel like it might have been Chris Gale's Triple Century Sports Bar, but my memory is a little foggy. The atmosphere was definitely crazy in there though. Jamaica won, and it was good vibes all around, and Iba Mahr was in good spirits for the interview afterwards. I think we did it back at the hotel. Again, my memory's a little hazy. I do remember afterwards travelling with him to Rooftop Studio on Red Hills Road to voice some dub plates, which was a killer session. And then he came with our group afterwards to the Wednesday night Root Sound System session Dubwise. Iba Mahr was definitely good company. Overall, he came across as a humble and happy guy and an authentic spirit. On that note, here is the interview, presented as always completely unedited. Jesse I interviews Iba Mahr in Kingston, July 2015.
Yes, I now listen back at talking. I mean, them should be asking what. Well, yes, I listen, love sing is the verse. So the wicked could have never drop no curse. You got to be real. To start out the CD, 7 more, right?
Well, we have like 15 all up.
Okay, so 15.
But I don't know if everybody is coming out tonight. Okay. So right now I'm here in Kingston, Jamaica with Iba Mahr. Iba Mahr, thanks for joining us here on PBS.
Yeah, man, give thanks. It's a joy and Jesse. One love.
So I always like to start my interviews with a bit of background on an artist. If you can tell us a little bit about what life was like for you growing up and your first experiences in reggae music.
I basically grew up in a small community called Cheesefield, just outside of the town of Linstead, in the parish of St. Catherine. Grew up for most part with my grandmother, my grandfather, and my mother was there in the early stage too, and my father too, until my mother separated with my father, and then, she lived further in the town, and then, I really, stick to Cheesefield same way, went to Time and Patience Primary, Cheesefield Basic School, and, then started high school, which is Charlie Mount High School. It's the same high school that Asafa Paul went to. We were actually going to school at the same time. And then, we started dental technical and we do a tertiary studies in a UTech for computing and information technology, my musical journey is kind of different, from some artists, A lot of artists started out, spending a whole heap of time at the studio, and some artists grew up in a church, playing instruments, singing, and, even going to music schools, It was kind of different for me. I basically started out, writing songs, and at the time, it was about, the intention was basically to write songs, and find specific artists who, we could have basically connect with, with the words, the song, and, try to get them to even perform, these lyrics, but, as we work and, time go by, every time we create, some kind of lyrics, then we create a certain kind of melody. And, friends always ask me, why you don't perform these songs? And, then and there, we started, trying to sing, and, try to really create that art and that, try to perfect that sound, so, whenever we would have go into a studio, it would have sound, a certain kind of way, met Max Romeo, and Max Romeo basically gave me my seal of approval. It was the first producer to really, recorded me, and it was the first song for me to be released, and the Chase the Devil rhythm, and it's a popular rhythm that, a whole heap of people know, so, then and there I was getting attentions from Europe and, other parts of the world once that song was released.
What's the name of that song?
Had It and Lost It.
Can you sing a little quick part of it?
If you add it and you lose it, how? Who you gonna blame, son? Life is more than wealth and fame. Oh.
So what year was that?
This was around 2008, sometime, just started university, and going on to second year and thing. We basically my seal of approval, for move forward into the music, it was like a resume for me personally, because, after recording with Max Romeo, Fatis was the next person, to really, enhance my career, enhance my music, the art, and, to perfect it, and just, give me a heads up, on how to record, the type of songs to sing, and, how important it is to present yourself like this. And, it was a joy, and, we give thanks to the early stage and the early development of my music.
All right, so tell us about the importance of Rastafari to your music. Have you been Rasta from birth?
Well, like my inspiration come through Rastafari and Marcus Garvey, and, the teachings of Haile Selassie, same way. To say I was a Rasta from birth, would that be real? But, the whole manifestation of the movement, and the symbolization of everything that, manifested through Rastafari, comes about, sometime in 2008, same way, like, we started university and we start read, and, we start meditate life on a different level, and, we see things from different angles, and, for me, we used to have a whole heap of brethren who are Rasta, and, it was about eating healthy, at first, so I find myself at the Ital shop, where, I would eat, Ital stew and, vegetable food, and, try to cut off of the meat, and try to keep the temple clean. So, for most people, it started a different kind of way. It started food for me, because the first thing I started to do was to clean my temple, so, that is how it started for me.
Tell us about Mama Rosie.
Yeah, man, very charming lady, and it's very quite interesting. She's very, strong Christian-minded lady, and she's classified as a powerful woman, to many. To me, she's more than a mother. She's a teacher. She's a prophet too, and some things, for me, in my music career, are things that she saw like many years ago, and we give thanks, like, for people, like on a whole who can have a mother, or even a family structure, like a father too, who never neglect them, and stick with the family and stick with the importance of having a family, and that is what Mama Rosie do. For me. So for me, come perform and sing a song like Mama Rosie, it would have been easy, because every single line in that song was like a real life story. It was a story like from the top to the very last drop. Is a real story.
I'm trying to think back to the first Iba Mahr song that I can remember. To be honest, off the top of my head, I don't recall if it was Let Jah Lead the Way or something earlier. Yeah. What was the first song for you that really made an impact in Jamaica, really made people start to know about Iba Mahr?
I think, Born Free is one of those songs, that we recorded, and, we get some amount of love in Jamaica for Born Free. But, when you talk about songs, like hitting the chart, and songs, rotating on the radio, then it would be Will I Wait in Vain. That was a song that was produced in the early stage by, Born Roland Production, Jermaine and Roland. They were like, the two producers, and, they're basically managing my career now. And, it was them, who really cited, like, the importance of spending time, with this little youth, and, grooming this little youth, and, investing not just money, but a whole heap of other things, time, and patience, so as, to make it Iba Mahr this day, so, I would have said Will I Wait is a song, and then we had songs like Burning, and, Let Ya Lead the Way, thanks to Notice Records, and, Greatism was a nice song also, by Winter James, on the Rootsman rhythm, and, it goes on,
Sorry, I just forgot my next question. I was thinking. I had a next question. I forgot. I'll edit this out after.
Well, basically, from that kind of development and that kind of upbringing, we would have find songs, like Love You Girl Now, and we'd have find songs like Love You Girl, and Diamond Sucks definitely, and Talk If Them Want, which is definitely a new song that was produced by Damon Junagang Marley. A whole heap of people love that too, and we have songs on the album, because we have an album coming now that would be produced by VP Records, would be distributed by VP Records, and produced by Born Rolling Production, and it features artists like Capleton, and it would have featured Janine also, and Jamali, and Jamali is one of the artists who a whole heap of people long for hear. So it's a nice album. Taurus Riley is on the album also, and it's a journey. From them time till this time, where we reach a stage where we can release a debut album. I recently released a EP that was called Greatism, and we get a whole heap of respect for that. So we're on the album now.
I wanted to ask about Diamond Socks, because every year on the program I rate the biggest dancehall songs of the year. Last year I had to put Diamond Socks #1 on the dancehall, even though a lot of people in Jamaica wouldn't regard that as dancehall like cartel and that kind of music. For me, I still put it as #1 because it has the old school dancehall feel, and the lyrics talking about the old days of dancehall. Tell us about the song.
Well, if you recognize it as a #1 song in your part of the world, then you wouldn't be wrong, because even here in Jamaica, the song was recognized as a #1 song in Jamaica. So, that is a good start for we. A whole heap of artists really like, work, for to be recognized, for the work with them do, and Diamond Socks is one of those songs that you just get rave reviews. And I think it's not just because it's a dancehall song, and it's not just because it's Iba Mahr, but it has some amount of originality to it, but it reminds you of the old times.
Fire at them can't calm me. Old fashioned them a call me, put me in a cha-cha army, and I never lose my way no how. In a me diamond socks and me wallaby clocks, and I rush root and me mesh marina. I red, green and gold me in a well, I when me tip in at the senior. In a me diamond socks and me wallaby clocks, and I rush root and me mesh marina. I tell you say me in ya where you get elbow.
And then the topic, the message in the song is really bringing people, back to the time of when, people used to wear, diamond socks and Clarks and mesh marina and, arrow shirt, and, that was the dress code. That was like a strong part of our culture, in terms of dressing. So, people who don't know, they know now, so, we bring people to the interesting part of life. Sometimes the stories that we write are stories that we observe and see in our own circle, and we talk about things where people know about already, and then when we talk about things that people know about already, then it is easy for them to connect, sing along, and to even prolong with the message and the importance of what we are saying.
There's been a lot of talk lately in reggae about the reggae revival. Artists like Kabaka Pyramid, Chronics, Iba Mahr, same way. But reggae music has never really died out. So this idea of the reggae revival, what do you make of that?
I came into music before even the mention of reggae revival. I was singing, I was chanting, and at the time, it's only a couple of young artists was recording at the time. I was basically not necessarily recording, but it's only a couple of artists was reggae artists, young reggae artists was really playing on the radio at the time. Will I Wait was one of them only songs that was really playing on the radio. And reggae revival to me is regardless of the concept and regardless of the name that would attach or connect to it, I really say in this time a whole heap of youth who really take the time out to look within themselves, side consciousness, and think positive, and come out with conscious lyrics, and positive music. And reggae needed that for a while, really, because the place was rampant with dancehall, but not just dancehall, but elusive dancehall, slack, and rude music, and it's a part of our culture too, but there's always a time and place for everything. And then if you have the rude and the slack music, this being bombarded, and the radio is being bombarded with that kind of music, then reggae is the music that should come and balance it. So when you find 10 or 12, or it's like a whole heap of youths now who find that sort of consciousness and they put it into music, and that is what I like. That is what I appreciate about the music now. That it's not only Iba Mahr, it's not only Chronics, it's not only Kabaka, it's not only Janine either, it's not only Protege, who find time to make this conscious music. It's a whole heap more. We have a whole heap more bands too. Like you have Raging Fire and Pentatush, just to name a few. Dub Tonic, who really making music. And that is what we like. And so I don't even get too deep with reggae revival, or what it associates itself with.
All right. In closing, is there any message you'd like to pass on to the listeners back in Australia?
Well, we look, forward to the time when, the music, can really spread, to, all corners of Australia, and, and, reggae artists like, myself can, come and, share the vibes, because outside of just singing, we have so much vibe on stage, and so much ways to connect with our audience that, we need Australia to get, some of that, and, we toured the world. We performed in Europe, Germany, and Holland and France and all these places. We performed in US, and California, New York, and so many different places, and a couple times in the Caribbean. And what we want to do is really spread the music, not just my music, but reggae music. And we want to spread it across the world, and send a message of consciousness and positive vibration.
All right, Iba Mahr, give thanks.
You want to give thanks, Jesse? It's a pleasure. Give thanks, one love. Alice Lass is the first. Australia, we're coming.
When you see the king, better a lot, firm like the trees, down to the roots. Babylon, them never tell the truth, so you hear that create. So yes, yes, Africa was built on our freedom and our civilization. Will do. Yes, general, alright, they healthy. Yes, man, a general. Yes, man, a general. Yes, Marcus Garvey, a general. I'm in general. Yes, I'm in general. Yes, Marty, my plan, I give my general. I'm in general. Yes, I'm in general. Emmanuel, the 7 is so spiritual. I'm in general. Yes, I'm in general. And I listen, I say, I feel my heart.
Iba Mahr speaking to me there back in July 2015. That's it for this episode. Shout out to the patrons, Armageddon Time, Empress Irie, Tom Tanaki and DJ Pablito. More love, more life. And thanks for listening. Eyes every time.
Alright, we're yes, no. Yeah, I'm where I am now. Yes, Africa, where I am. Stretch forward to their hands, yes, no. Alright, we're at, yes, we're out. So great, yes, I know, wow. I great is the chant down sound, yes, no. We're at, so great, yes, I know, wow. I great is the chant down sound, yes, no. Alright, we're at, I tell you now, give her up life, black power eyes, I bright green and go out, chant down your stand, go out. White marker sign, prophecies them still are unfold. Alright then, never you wait for the times now. Can't wait till no judgment come. Tomorrow never forward. No. What? Cause in my father's house, so many mansions. And if it wasn't so, chant down sound to say so. I just got to let you know. I tap for years, the king of all kings who lives in reggae. I rascal, shall you know the live and reggae. So great is chant down sound. Great like the king of all kings, yes. I guess our flames and fire we are flame. So great is chant down sound. I great, yeah, I down now. Where I give you your L, I tell you now, bounce your body, you're not take shot. I powder your face and left your head back. I very soon you will know how it feels when chant down sound of you on the pot look. I step away now with your spline sang. I sound why you're in a clash thing. This is reggae girl and a fun thing. Remember chant down sound is playing your hand. I step away now with your spline saying. I sound why you're in a clash thing. This is reggae girl and a fun thing. Remember Lucifer, alright then. I tell the set the door where we a play take some sound while life away. You know see said that the devil got them life lock away. I bet you listen chant down sound and rock away. Our book like where Rodney Price did say. Them this we a Portland get cards and not savvy. Me hear say some sound why molesting and okay. I mama she a ball. Papa in my pray that somehow we not kill them anyway. I tell you step away now. But you spline you say and sound why you in a clash thing. I yes I chant down so out. Alright I yes I just run so out. Alright well I no.